There. Hey, Moro,
Hello,
Hi,
Neza, good
Moro. Hi,
morning.
Nisa.
Pranita.
Good morning.
Hello, Moro.
Good
Happy
morning.
Friday morning, Moro. All right, Pranita, you want to go ahead and bring up the deck that we're going to use today?
Yeah, let me just share across my screen where the deck is. And guys, please bear with my voice. It's just a bad cold.
Oh, no. Feel
Uh,
better soon.
so let me know once my screen is visible.
Cool, yep. Let's see it. Looks great.
Okay, so hi, Moro. This is just a kickoff, although I know you'll be very much familiar with the processes Crowdbotics follow, but it just walkthrough of what we are expecting during the tenure that we'll be working on, the defects that you have highlighted, along with the new improvements, that new features that you'll be planning to add. I'll be the project manager, as well as Niza would be working on the customer as a CSM, handling any things that has to be, in the whenever it comes to delivery side, I'll be the sole point of contact. Okay, just that what I have thought about this, my team has thought about what exactly it's basically a delivery app, which allows the business, which we call it as restaurants, to connect with the customer by being a liaison between them. And also, the customers can order their favorite cuisines from their favorite restaurants, and rest will be taken care by a faster driver. And we, Crowdbotics, as you know, we are on low code platform, and we work on a joint methodology where through a series of sprints, we will try to deliver whatever have been committed. So it's basically just so basically, this is where the project timeline will start with. From today onwards, after the kickoff, a team would be starting working on it. After 2 weeks of the development into the as each sprint here in Crowdbotics is of 2 weeks. So by end of 2 weeks, we'll be completing on sprint one, and we plan to give you a demo of what we have accomplished throughout the sprint. If something tangible cannot be showcased, but we'll make sure we'll let you know what on each item that we have worked on and what we have achieved. And by completion of sprint 2, we plan to give you a milestone demo, whatever have been achieved through the entire month. We will plan to give you that. And according to the estimates, I think we'll be finishing off in sprint 3. And after that, we'll give you 1 week of UAT, and approximately we'll be closing this by end of December. So basically, whatever new features that you have, because there was an urgency and there was a delay also from our side, we plan to, I'll just share my screen again and show what we are targeting, and then I'll quickly jump back on this thing. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. So I hope this is all visible. Let me just zoom it a bit. So if you can see what all new features that we have right now, the order tracking with notifications of the sounds, and then the customized taxable amount that each restaurants during the sign up can add. These all we target to give you near about on 2nd of November. And then after that, we'll work on the rest of the priority items, but these three we commit to give you near the date of 2nd November. Okay, let me jump back to my PPT. Is there any questions, Moro, that you have from my side, which before moving on to, yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot. So
Okay.
to begin with, Jim is not in this call again, and he and I had agreed that everything which should have been done
Okay.
would have been done by November 2nd. Everything. Now I'm looking at a December deadline. I'm
Mm,
I'm not like it doesn't compute. Second, a lot of this stuff is you guys should have a history of, I mean, a log of everything that we've been doing. So, some of the people that were on the team before are not here anymore, for whatever reason. But the notes and the whole thing that we went through should be there because in reality, this whole thing is, I don't know if it was done at a minimum, but I was very clear from the get-go from everybody, and even after they dropped off, whoever came on board, I simply said, look at DoorDash, Foodpanda, wherever you are, look up a delivery service app, and we're doing exactly the same thing. We're just simply changing how we process payments. So this is very, this was way more time that it was said to me that would require the change, the changes that I was asking for, which was just inserting a notification when a sound when you get a push notification sent to you, which we have experience when we get text messages back and forth, and and to break up the steps, the last step that was for drivers because it was three steps in one. Somehow you guys saw it as one step, and that doesn't work. No app does that. So can you guys explain why we're going into a December launch and
I sure can. And it's kind of a combination of a conversation. And so when this team was brought on board, Moro, they did a deep dive assessment of what was really the true state of the application, not, taking into consideration what the previous team just told us, but then going to find what is the real truth. And frankly, your old project team, they're no longer here and they're no longer around for a very good reason. And that reason was for falsely identifying the state of the project. And when this team came on board, they found a lot of things were never actually written in code. They may have been shown to you in some fashion. They may have been communicated to members of this group as being completed, but they weren't. And so what we needed to do is put together a comprehensive plan to deliver on whatever your minimal viable needs are by November 2nd. And then, of course, collapse the rest of the schedule as best we can. And that's a conversation I can take internally on our side. We can talk about what that looks like here sometime next week. And if that's possible, right, to deliver whatever we can in the month of November.
whatever
So I'll take that on
can?
our side. And I know what the expectation from Jim came in as, but it wasn't rooted in a true understanding of the real state of the app.
Adding to this, Moro, so December doesn't mean that rest of the features would only be available to you on December. As soon as my team would be fixing up things, we would be deploying it on staging, and I'll be also notifying you this feature or the bug because as Chris notified, when my team have gone through the code, there are some hiccups and I don't want to deliver. I don't want to compromise on quality just because of the timelines. So don't worry that if after 2nd of November you'll be directly getting the code on December. No, it's not like that. We would be after this we will be working on the bugs that you have highlighted, and as soon as we fix those bugs, I'll be there on Slack and I'll be completely notifying you. More, this has been deployed. Kindly test. So it's not just, one whole month you'll not be getting anything on your environment. It's not like that. It's just that we need to give you, keeping on the estimates that we have given, we have to give a timeline or deadline after which we all have to work together.
I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say.
So at this time, Morrow, tell me more about the November 2nd date. Like what happens on
I
this?
mean, it doesn't really matter because everything's behind. Everything is behind. It doesn't really matter, well, like if it's November, December now anymore, or what is. And I mentioned to you guys from the get-go, from the beginning, is like, this is all about relationship, it's all about trust. And especially on my end, to the restaurants, I've been fortunate to follow some advice as to not to take payment because that would have been like it would create a huge problem. So you guys are on that side again. Now, how is this? I can't even say, well, let's try to move forward with like, try to push people this and that. You guys already been paid. I really don't want to dive into that side because that would open another whole can of worms that I don't even understand. I just know that I wouldn't be doing business this way. Okay, that's all I know, that I would not be doing business this way. And it's gonna sound really bad, but this is why I didn't want to work with a company that had people all over the world. Um, this is just not something that I wanted to be involved with. Okay. Now, my I want to know what the consequences of this are financially. I want to know when this is going to be completely done, and I want to know if there's how do I hold you guys accountable? Because this is the second time already, and yeah, this is just not how you do business. And we already in the hole for, however much money with you guys, plus time. And the time is the thing that I can't get back. Money is gonna start coming in, thankfully, because even through this whole process, I can access more capital. But to the business, my lifeline, the way that I make money is just that's not how it's supposed to work. And
Yeah.
what it's frustrating is that you guys, if you guys are not capable of doing it, the first thing is start taking a haircut, start giving money back. There's just like nothing speaks more clearly than, hey, money back, get this done, and try to repair this as much as possible. If it's about relationships, if it's about making your company grow. But I really, at this point, I really don't. Do I really have any trust left? No. But people have already given me some money. I already need to follow through on this. I already, like I mentioned to you, Chris, I already have other people on the sidelines. Um, but it was going to cost time. That's what's going to screw me over a ton, is time. Because this app, in reality, especially with the people that have been involved, yeah, we have coders over here too. We have everything that you guys have, but it's just for some reason you guys look structured. You guys look like you guys knew what you were doing, but it doesn't seem like you guys know which is head, which is tails. And
So
we're the ones paying the price because we already paid the money. We already paid the. It's gonna be a year, Christopher. It's gonna
right.
be a
No,
year.
I know. I know.
So
I know.
and there is really nothing. Everybody's telling me you're cutting them too much slack. This is just no way of doing business. Why are you still? And I'm like, hey, I'm already in the hole so much. This is part of like a great history, the story of my company, and it like I highlight all the highs and lows that I went through. I was hoping to ride a high with you guys, and you guys take off and do your thing, and I take up do my thing after we finish this system and this thing completely happy and everything. It doesn't look like it's gonna end that way. So at the end of the day, you're right. Litigation takes a long time and all this and that. All I want is this project to get done. And no, I cannot wait until December, whatever. I've seen already notifications about religious holidays and all this and that. I understand them. That's why in my company, I have a little bit of diversity. Everybody's a little bit of different because it allows me to move people around and um, get myself prepared for this. Like that as a company, if that's what you guys are doing, the administration, because you guys are getting people from Upwork and all these places, that's fine. But that's my job. You guys actually kind of doing something that I'm doing, but on a different space. Okay, so that's my job to look after. I'm gonna be open holidays, everything. It's 24/7 for me, and I love it because it's like I give the opportunity to be on all the time and service the people who are not a bit, are able to get whatever they want and provide jobs for people who are available, for different times. And that helps the system. But when I see it like, I kind of looked up to you guys. I told you guys, I told Jim's like, you guys are in a way an inspiration. You guys are starting off too. It's great. This is another thing that I saw as a positive, but
Yeah.
it's not looking that way. So, I'm beyond, I'm beyond mad. Like, honestly, I'm beyond that. And
I understand. I absolutely understand. And I absolutely understand the horrific experience that you've had up until this point, right? And kind of the ebbs and flows that came with that. Because I know there there were good times, right? And you had a positive relationship with somebody like Solar. I get that. And so I know the journey's been difficult. There are absolutely things I can do on my side, right? We have that monthly subscription thing. I'll pause it. I'll continue to have it paused, for the next however long I can. So let me work on that. And that's a small thing I can do. The other thing we need to do as a group here internally, right, is go back and see, okay, Pernita's put together her initial plan. Now the request is to, collapse that and to deliver faster while maintaining quality. And that latter piece is really important, right? Yes, delays have occurred. Yes, we need a little bit more time to finish this thing off. But if you will give us 2 weeks to, put together what this team can.
I believe that if you guys put your heads together and put everybody according to you do what you're supposed to do as the owner. I don't know who runs this company. I all I know is that this starts falling apart when bills are not getting paid, and that's just that's just the bottom line. Okay,
I
so
don't know where that came from. I
oh, I'm
imagine
reading from no, I'm just reading from like FTX, and I'm not no by no means no, and this is just like in general. This is the same things that my family points out at me why they didn't want to get involved with me, not you guys. And this is like I'm not getting bills paid or what. It does to me that's I don't. There might be other reasons, but that's not my point.
okay.
My point is
Well,
my
here,
point all is that you guys do have the you guys have the personnel back there, put it together. If it's really about redemption now, you're just being like, hey, we messed up so hugely, like beyond like, don't drag us. I really don't have to drag anybody through the mud. Your work will speak for itself. Your job will take you to the heights or put you down where you're supposed to be. Period. But I'm gonna say, this is my experience through Crowdbotics. Bum, 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 bum. So now this is a situation now about redemption. It's all up to you guys. Like in reality, because I'm more like you. I don't know if you met Teddy, but Teddy has been the hardest, like going hard on me about this situation. But he's very expensive because he knows what he's doing. So he's like, dude, this is like, get your money back. Let's do this. Put it in arbitration. You got this other guy with his money coming in. Why we still messing? Dealing with this. I'm like, look. If I have you already in the wings, I can like breathe a little bit easier because I have you on the wings and you'll jump in as soon as the code is on our hands. I said, but if these people really want to get, it's like, if they really want to get their job done and they want to, come out of this hole, and they might be the way to redeem themselves. Not even for to me, it's to other potential customers. Be like, hey, we had troubles, but guess what? We came out and we learned and we came out a little better. You see that Faster Drivers app that's all over the world. We helped to build it. Yes, we you know, all the bad stuff too. But we helped to build it, and we can help you now because we gotten better. That's my end goal. It doesn't help to like bury you guys and make your life more difficult. But at the same time, I want that you guys to see that from me and reciprocate. Because like you guys, that's why Jim being not here is like kind of upsetting because like we gave him a rundown. Like he's seen we've done in regards to money wise, and we need that from you guys because there's just not that's what we put our thankfully our first eggs. Now that we have these other options, it's like, what do? We don't want to put you guys in the hole. What's the point of arbitration? What's the point of like drowning you guys in all this other stuff and the work doesn't get done?
well,
But
and it's just an elongated process that wouldn't help anybody, right? And
well,
so I think we're
it would
saying the
help
same.
a little bit me. It actually, believe it or not, it would help me. One of my investors is like, I like to go into do this, but we have to go through this litigation because I think he has an ulterior motive. He's partnered with a law firm here in San Diego. I'm like, that's just not the way to do business. I don't like those underhanded tactics. I don't like to do that kind of stuff. You guys are very young too. You guys just went through your Series B. You know, you guys have still potential if you guys can pick up the ball from this mess. But it's up to you guys, really. Like I want to see beyond that. Honestly, I think I can. I don't know. Financially speaking, what you guys can do, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. My matter is time. If you guys can push yourselves to get this done by before the end of no, I can't. It's just November 2nd is like the date I need this thing because like even after November 2nd, I can give you maybe another week or so. after that, but not to the end of December, not to the beginning of December. I cannot. I need. There's a lot of people who are counting on me, especially after the restaurants. A lot of drivers are counting on me to start to activate them, and that's where I make most of my money. So I do not cannot have this app um, not finished before December. I give
Okay.
you guys to
Um,
November to give me the features that, like I said, for um, the the ones that we mentioned, the sounds when the orders are being placed, when they're being received. That's one, and then the segmentation of the order. Break up the last step. I mean, I don't know. That's the only. I don't know what you guys are doing on the front or any other stuff. The last step is that's the biggest flaw in the system, because there's just no way that we can send an order out from the restaurant to the driver and the driver already being at the location when they receive it. It's just like we don't have that kind of, technology. So we need to break that step down. So this is why it's kind of a little frustrating too, that I'm not sure why you guys are kind of doing all this long thing sprints. And I know it's finding out where the issues are and fixing them. I understand that, but you guys should have logs. You guys should have, like, there's a data. I mean, that's from what I
of
know.
course, of course. So here's what we need to do. We need to take this back internally. We are going to have to put together a plan that prioritizes the most minimal functionality of a workflow that could possibly be done completely, fully tested, and fully functioning in November the way you need it. However, there will likely be things that come after that that will need to be completely finished or
Yeah,
done.
yeah, no,
Because what
because
we are
like
seeing right now, Laura, is after doing an assessment, there's the app is not in a state to finish everything in 2 weeks. It's impossible.
well, okay, that's where you guys have to put the muscle in, but at the same time, I understand. But like so far, everything works. Like you like kind of sounds like you guys haven't used the app. I mean, do you guys use your own like the product when you guys build it? Because I would be doing that. And I mentioned, and if I didn't mention some of the both of you guys weren't here from the beginning, just use a. I don't know where you guys are at. I'm in the U.S., so DoorDash, Uber
Yes,
Eats.
DoorDash, Uber, all of them, of
Try
course.
it.
Yes.
Just go through the or watch a video how they go process an order. We're doing the exact same thing. The only difference is how we process payments. That's the only thing. Like, and I told Toby when he was at the beginning, I told Solar, I told Brad, I told Jim, I told Vanessa. You know, a lot of all these people have like all the necessary information, or should have added the information into the to the to the PRD, even if the code or whatever the work in the back end wasn't done. But in the front end, there's a lot of stuff that we're going over and over again, and it sounds like you guys are not writing it down. But in reality, that's all it is. We're a delivery service. But what we make our money in is how we process our payments, and that's gonna. I hope we don't have to go through that process, because everybody had a hard time wrapping their heads around it. Everything was written down. It does process accordingly. So far, I have to see yet when you guys add the tips and the taxes, but the formula itself does. It's doing a mathematical, function. That's all it's doing. So being able to do the push notification so that when they're being sent, it sounds, and then the breakdown, the last step on November 2nd. After that, there's really more about like making things look a little pretty, really. Like I need to talk to Jim or you guys. There's some thing about a map that you guys were adding and they charged me. We need to take that off, because that's not, I don't know where that came from. But overall, the bill maybe had to be adjusted too. There's some features that like I said, I need to go over them again. But overall, the app does work. Um, the Apple side is not active, because Apple needs the screenshots of the 5.5, which I sent them, which I hope it's whoever is supposed to be doing that I think's Piyush, um, give me an answer for that. And after that, I don't really think we'll be able to work together, because like you said, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of. I'm happy to, get you guys to the point that you guys can hand me over the app, but I think it's also safe to assume that our relationship will probably end after this is completed to deployment and it's fully functional and I can take it over before I can deploy to the rest of the United States. So, November 2nd before December, it's no problem. I have that time is good because I also need time to teach the restaurants how to use the system and upload their menus, which is easy. You guys did a great job on that. It works exactly how it's supposed to. So that's gonna be it's gonna make me some money there, give me some time, and then give you guys the time by December so that we can start sending orders and activating my drivers, which it also allows me to start taking in payment from them. Um, I just wish you guys had the people that were in the project before because they would help you a lot if the notes don't help, but just let's please try
We
to get.
can, yeah. So, all right. Yep. So we can talk to them and reach out to them as needed, as through our HR group. With that said, we have the Slack records, the email records, the exchanges that took place, the code, obviously, the comments within the code. So what we need to do is we're going to walk away. Pranita and Neza stick around and talk with me. We're going to put together a plan that really states what can be done by November 2nd. And then the idea of what would come after that. And we'll have that conversation with you next week on Wednesday, probably when Pranita and the group are back, maybe Thursday. But let's regroup and we'll be in touch more to coordinate that session.
Yeah, and I don't know if I know you guys are going through like holidays and stuff like that, but we really need to we need to take use all the time that you guys have from here until November and December. I'm sorry, but this is how I see it.
Yeah, yep, we'll react accordingly.
Okay, I just want again use your time wisely because this is beyond the timeline. So
We will, but we are absolutely going to put together a plan that is based in reality that is going to deliver something of quality. And hopefully, if we can get this team 2 weeks, what they'll do is they'll deliver and hopefully build back some of your trust.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Pernina and Neza, go ahead and stick around and talk with me. Maura, appreciate your time. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate it.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk soon.